Welcome, everyone, to the That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton. Ladies and gentlemen, full house!
What up?
Woo! Hello!
Well, if this is your first time listening to the show and wondering why are we all excited that Brian's back, because Brian's awesome. But I highly suggest you go to intro.thatkindofnerd.com, learn a little bit about us, a little bit about the show, and then you can dive headfirst into this episode.
Yeah, you should listen to episode 63.
That's actually Game of Thrones season 6 finale. So hearing that the next season's coming out in April, maybe good to refresh on what happened.
In 2 seasons ago, sir?
Listen,
Totally.
just find out just what's going on.
That was the whole
Williams,
episode,
Sophie
just Game of
Turner,
Thrones?
Lena Headey.
Also, apparently, we're talking about some Overwatch GIF that you loved, Brian.
Overwatch GIF?
A gift of Overwatch?
A GIF.
A GIF or gift?
GIF.
A GIF. Are you saying GIF?
GIF.
Gift.
No, GIF.
Are you saying gift or GIF?
I will never say unless we're talking about peanut butter, I'm never talking about GIF.
You're talking about a gift of Overwatch.
Choosy moms choose GIF. I'm talking about
Choosy
a
nerds
GIF.
choose GIF.
You're talking about a graphical interface file.
That's correct.
A giraffical.
GIF.
Yeah,
Giraffical.
Jod is going to come down and he's going to tell me that it's pronounced GIF.
Well, I don't know if you're saying GIF or gift.
Oh, God, I can't deal with this anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this show, though, with talking about one of my favorite topics, and that is when Brian, when he pulls out his map and compass, lays it out on a massive table, and then travels by map, so that way he may discover what is coming out in the month of January. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Blockbuster. All right, Brian, this is your segment. Take it away.
Oh, shit.
Again,
My segment.
every month you have one job. You lead the segment.
I know. I just thought I was responsible for traveling to the far reaches of the earth and coming up with the list. I didn't know I had to present said list to you, the people. All right, so January. It is not a plentiful month.
Pretty light.
There are not many movies coming out in January, and that is because it's, Oscar season. Everybody's trying. There's like all the Oscar movies are making wider releases, and so other movies aren't bothering anymore. But we do have like 5 or 6 movies that seem pretty interesting that is coming out in the month of January. January 4th is Escape Room, which stars Deborah Ann Wall from Daredevil fame. And it looks pretty interesting. It's a horror movie. Essentially, 6 people get invited to who are like kind of lost in their lives, get invited to escape room, and the escape room turns out to be a lot realer and death.
Realer?
Realer.
That word makes as much sense as this plot. This is so
Making it a word. Making it a word. It's not dumb. It's an escape room. The escape rooms are all the rage now, but it's an escape room that can kill you.
Gross.
Yeah, really.
I'm interested. I want to see it.
No.
It looks good. On January, 11th? Yes, January 11th, Replicas comes out starring Keanu Reeves and Alice Eve. Hang on. Keanu Reeves plays a scientist who becomes obsessed with bringing back his family members who died in a traffic accident, and sci-fi
Pass.
things ensue.
Even with Alice Eve, pass.
Come on, it's Keanu.
No.
Y'all suck.
I mean, not really.
Looks awful.
I can't wait.
Looks almost as bad as Escape Room.
All right, well, January 11th also has The Upside with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston, which seems like an Oscar movie, but it did not get
Also
released.
pass.
I'm really
because,
intrigued, but it's going to be bad. But I'm kind of curious.
guys, this was a Toronto Film Festival 2017 movie.
Uh-huh.
I don't care at all.
Okay.
Like it didn't make it then. It's not gonna make it now.
It's real Kevin Hart at times, but I don't know. It feels like there may be something to it, but at the same time, it's probably going to be garbage. But
Kevin Hart's not a good actor.
I don't know. I'll watch. I mean, there's nothing much coming out in January, so
Hey,
I'll watch
he is
it.
great when he is acting opposite of The Rock.
What I read on IMDb is that Colin Firth was rumored to be attached to the main role originally.
Sure,
And
that would have been cool.
I'd have preferred that.
Yeah, me too.
And then also not Kevin Hart then.
Yeah, that's the only thing holding me back on this movie is Kevin Hart.
That's the problem.
I mean,
is that it probably could be a movie
If it wasn't Kevin Hart.
if he wasn't so goddamn slapstick.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
that's Kevin Hart.
All right. What's next?
All right. Well, next is a movie we should all be able to enjoy. January 18th, Glass comes out.
Yeah, I may have to watch Split or Splice.
You do have to watch Split.
Well,
What it's
yeah,
called.
if you haven't watched Split, you're doing it wrong, and I don't
watched it
even
yet.
know how to help you.
Well, it's M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, so I have a hard time convincing myself to watch it.
No. We were
I know.
Brian and I were both very clear. Like,
I don't like M.
I
Night
get it.
Shyamalan.
No one likes
no,
M.
but
Night.
Brian, had you seen Split before the trailer
For Glass?
for Glass?
No.
Nor had I.
Right.
And it was the trailer for Glass that made me watch Split.
And then
Correct.
you enjoyed Split.
And then I went, holy shit, Split was great.
Okay.
And I'm still approaching Glass like it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and it's probably going to be fucking stupid
Okay.
at some
All right,
point.
so there's that. Okay. All right.
Or go sideways, or,
What a
just-
twist.
I am cautiously optimistic vis-a-vis Glass. Concurrently.
Concurrently. And then the round out January is the movie Serenity, starring Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway.
Pass.
And I won't even bother with the synopsis because Josh has already passed. Okay, great.
Yeah, this looks really dumb, and also, I got it confused with Firefly. So, sorry.
Well, you
It's
said
about-
Matthew McConaughey, and that was it for me.
I'm really confused as to what Serenity is actually about, and it looks like
It's
right. Yep. No,
It's like a Fatal Attraction type movie
A
with a
fishing
boat.
reel is the hook to that trailer. I can't get on board.
I see what you did there, but still.
No, that
It's
wasn't
like
a
this
pun. Oh, haha, happy accident.
Murder mystery / who's playing who / whatever. Hey, listen, Anne Hathaway. Sure, I'll go. I mean, listen, if I'm bored on a Tuesday night, I might go see it. Who knows?
Oh, I got it. All right. So, as is tradition with the Blockbuster, we turn to our patrons and we say, patrons, here is our list of movies. You tell us what to see and we will go see it. And we will release a spoiler cast episode just for you. Because there's only a few movies this month, we're going to work it out with our patrons exclusively on our Patreon. So if you want to go and support our show, it's the $10 tier, gets you access to our back catalog of spoiler casts, which include the likes of Peppermint, The Meg, Skyscraper, what am I missing?
Instant Family.
A Star is Born, and Bumblebee.
You always gravitate to the ones that you hated.
I do. And Bumblebee will be released shortly. So we're going to work it out with you as to which movie we're going to see. But go on to the Patreon site, become a member, have your voice heard, and we'll work out with you what movie we're going to see this month. All right. Okay, listeners, so we're going to do this episode just a little bit differently than we do every single week. We are going to tell you what is going on in the nerdy world this week. However, we're also going to just take a step back, look at 2018, and just kind of give our year in review, talk a little bit about how, what happened, and just get some thoughts on it. So I do want to start this episode off with my favorite hobby, which is to go around the internet, find the weird, find the obscure, and then I ask these two gentlemen for a tech perspective. I like the fact that last week I just got to go into the topic. It was fantastic. I had no interruptions. So listen, so as we all know, the internet is a completely dangerous place, especially when it comes to your privacy. Just one day, I'm going to be able to get right to a topic.
Best part.
So we all know that the internet is a dangerous place when it comes to your privacy, and just because something's taken over the internet doesn't necessarily mean you should be throwing your sensitive data at it. So there was a very popular, damn it, I just lost it. All right. So
It's
it
a
was
Popsugar Twinning app that was popularized on Twitter and Facebook. Okay, so this is like, you upload pictures and they give you your top 5 lookalikes, celebrities. So
I look like
basically,
a fat Josh Duhamel.
it's like of the how many Facebook users are there? Like 14 billion?
yeah, something
Of the
like
14 billion Facebook users, probably 5 billion take advantage of this piece of shit. All the photos are stored via Amazon Web Services. Okay, which is relatively reliable, but apparently a lot of these photos were leaked.
So, basically, they were hosted on the Amazon Web Service, AWS, with no security on it for a little bit of time. So the photos were just like,
Who
available.
gives a shit? Who gives a shit, really?
As opposed to like your social security number and like sensitive data, or those Facebook posts were like, name your favorite ice cream and the street you grew up on, and all the other security questions.
Here's where I'm at. If you on social media click one of these, get your top 5 whatevers, or I do a quiz.
What house are you in Griffin?
If you click on that,
Here's what you would look like as garlic bread.
Part of that is, just by clicking OK, you're signing off on the terms and conditions, meaning you don't care with whatever you tell them, whatever you upload, whatever information you share, you don't care where that goes. That's the price of admission.
Right.
If you do that shit. Also, and we were just talking about this over the holidays. You need to get together with family, and you're like, Aunt Margie, do me a favor. When you get a Facebook thing that's like a quiz, and it's like, what was your first car? What city did you grow up in? What was the name of your first pet? You've just given away your password questions.
Yeah.
You're done. You need to now reset all your passwords, Aunt Margie. Stop answering those surveys.
Aunt Margie, why you always do this?
Keep doing it. This was a two-pronged thing, because that's what I thought of, because I really did spend the holidays with family and noticing other people's posts going, oh my God, did you see this? Like, this is what someone posted. Like, oh, I did that last week.
Red flag.
Red flag, change everything, get a password manager, just get out of here. I think it's true. Like any free app, quiz, or viral web tool, you're putting your information out there. It's always going to get, you can't get it back. You can't
They want
get it back.
access to your contacts, your photos, your personal information, and they want to sell that shit to everybody. Do not participate. Now, if you need to know which of the Kardashians you look most like, right? Make a duck face. Make a duck face. The answer is all of them.
All right.
And you're good. Right? There's your answer.
Right.
You're all
You
set.
figured it out.
Right? You probably don't need to do this bullshit and put your passwords, your accounts at risk. Because it's more than Facebook that we're talking about here, right? Because a lot of you people use the same passwords for all your shit. And that's okay as long as you never answer your security questions in public.
Right.
Which you have done.
I've made up a fake first pet. My first pet is a fake
Gizmo.
pet I've never had.
That's interesting.
Well, I could use it for everything, but it's not real. So if someone actually knew what my first pet is, you wouldn't get through. I made up a first pet.
What if I knew your fake first pet?
Then something's gone wrong in my life. If you know that, obviously I was on my deathbed and I was like, delete the browser history, and that's what you were doing for me, and I appreciate it.
It was a fluffy cat named Snuffles. You were a prissy little tart.
Damn it! Now I gotta.
With an uncle named Cushman Armitage.
I gotta. What is happening? Wait. Is this a new reference to something that I didn't pick up? Are you watching a new show and I don't know what's going on?
It's a reference to Now You See Me. Now You See Me.
Oh, it's been a minute since I've seen.
Got it. I got it.
That's an amazing movie.
All right.
Dick.
Listen, this all goes to say, basically, PSA, don't use those stupid viral tools. Please use a password manager. And then if you, just like you said, if you need to know which Kardashian looks like,
a password manager is unnecessary.
You're wrong, but that's fine. Everyone's allowed to be wrong. It's okay. One day you'll learn. So, hey, that's like the nerdiest part of the show. You've done it. You've made it through it. Congratulations. Here is a merit badge. So now what I want to do is talk about the world of TV and movies in the segment that we call Screen to Stream. And I would just like to set one goal for 2019, if I may, for this program. Can we make a theme song for this bit or what?
Screen to Stream.
That's not going to work.
That's never going to work. I'm going to turn it to the listeners.
Yeah, seriously. I am not your dancing monkey.
You kind of are. You kind of are the dancing monkey.
Seriously. It just comes naturally.
The dancing monkeyness comes naturally to you?
When I needed to, yeah.
From the grave, I believe. Ripley's Believe It or Not is re-airing a television show.
It is from the grave. Didn't Dean Cain used to host the show?
Yes, he did. It was hosted by Dean Cain. And I love that show. I was a big fan. I really liked it. And I also like, popping into these Ripley's when you're in places. They're tourist traps. I get it. But they're like $3 and a smile to get in. So I'm all for it. Ripley's Believe It or Not, though, is making a new show on the Travel Channel and is going to be hosted by none other than Bruce Campbell. And if you don't know who Bruce Campbell is, I don't care that you don't know who that is. Google it. You have a smartphone. I'm very excited for this. I love Bruce Campbell. I'm curious how you guys feel about this.
I love the Travel Channel. I think some of the shows that they've done in the past, especially the Anthony Bourdain shows, the Chef Andrew Zimmern shows, the Man vs. Food stuff, I have loved all of those. I'm not going to watch Ripley's Believe It or Not, but I do like the Travel Channel as far as like TV integrity goes.
Yeah, they are.
I love Bruce Campbell.
Uh-huh.
I do not need to watch this show. I didn't watch it when Dean Cain hosted it in 2000 to 2003.
Why would you?
Because
Dean Cain.
But
No,
Dean Cain's
awful.
Superman.
Dean Cain's Superman.
He's
That's
Superman.
that's why
He's not.
he was
He's not.
Superman.
He's not.
He was.
He is. He is.
I don't know about is. He was.
There are two acceptable Supermans.
That's the right verbiage. Yes, I agree.
Christopher Reeve
Who?
and
Henry Cavill.
no.
No, I disagree with
Acceptable.
you. No, acceptable,
Nope.
but not. I mean, he's not Superman. He's fine.
I've never seen an episode of anything with Dean Cain as Superman. So
Okay, first off,
Oh.
listen. If we're talking about the quintessential Superman, okay, obviously Christopher Reeve.
Right.
The animated Superman is number 2.
Yes.
Period. I mean, honestly, I love Bruce Campbell. I watched all 3 seasons of Ash
yeah,
vs.
you
Evil Dead.
rant and rave about Bruce Campbell.
I love Bruce Campbell. I don't need to watch him host Ripley's.
I'm
Believe It
not
or
saying you need it. I'm just saying you know. Now you know. If you ever just need a little Bruce Campbell in your life and just some weirdity, and you
So
I'll
you're
pull
saying
up my
he's not
DVDs.
the host we need, but he is the one we deserve?
nope, I'm not
Sure.
saying that because that's too succinct, and I don't work that way. That would be logical, and I just can't do that. So, Brian, I believe you threw this into the topic list, so I'm going to let you take the lead on this. Samuel L.
Right.
Jackson is suiting up again for Shaft.
Oh yes, he is. For those of you who do not remember, Shaft was a series of movies in the 70s starring Richard Roundtree about a no nonsense cop taking
Nope.
names
nope.
and kicking ass. And
not-
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
That's not how
Yeah.
that's not how that phrase goes at all, but okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know what I said.
He was quoting Avengers Infinity Wars.
Yeah, seriously, I know what I'm about. Anyway, he did 3 movies in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and then they decided in the year 2000 to do another Shaft. And it wasn't
Good.
it was good.
It wasn't good.
It was good. It
Wasn't good. It
starred
was
Samuel
a
L.
movie.
Jackson.
A movie.
Right, it was movie.
Stars Samuel L. Jackson. It wasn't a reboot. This Shaft actually turned out to be the nephew of Richard Roundtree's Shaft. Now, they're bringing Shaft back again. And there's a link in the show notes. You can see a photo of all 3 of our Shafts, Richard Roundtree, Samuel L. Jackson, and the new gentleman, Jesse T. Usher, who's going to be playing his Samuel L. Jackson's son,
Estranged
who is
son.
also
Ooh.
Shaft. And it's just it's your standard cop drama action movie, badass mofo.
Here's the thing, though. Like blaxploitation is not a thing anymore. So how are they going to do a Shaft movie in 2019?
I don't think we're qualified to answer that question.
As a genre, I think we can say that was a thing.
It was.
That was the fucking Shaft genre.
They're gonna change the tone of the film. They have to. That's why the 2001 didn't work, because they were trying to do that, and it wasn't a
Right.
thing back then.
No, it wasn't.
So I think that the drama, the friction is going to come with the fact that Jesse T. Usher's character, he's joined the FBI, which is like the anti-Shaft move. You wouldn't join the establishment. So then Shaft is going to come to him for help, and it's going to be a matter of, okay, can we not rehabilitate? Can we reshape Shaft? Can we change his compass? Can we point him in a different direction? So can we make him not so cynical? So it's going to be about, can we do that? So you're going to watch a character change and grow.
No, I'm not.
Sounds boring, but that's what you're going to do.
No, I'm not.
So Brian, you weren't a fan of the first, not reboot, but like,
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed the first Shaft from 1971. I enjoyed the 2000 Shaft. That's why I put it in here. I'm interested. I'll watch it.
okay.
I'll give it a shot. Hey, I'll give anything a chance. I got A-list.
It's June 14th, 2019.
Ooh, there we go. Wait, hang on. Think that might be international. Comes out the same day. Guess what's gonna get smoked at the box office?
Right.
Gonna be Shaft.
So they're framing this though. They're framing this though as an action comedy. Does that jive with the first?
I mean, anytime
Shaft?
you at this point put Sam Jackson into an action flick, it's an action comedy.
Right. Very true.
So, and I love that dude. I'll watch basically anything with him in it. This is maybe a bridge too far for me.
Snakes on the Plane is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Fuck! I'll never. No.
No, see, I never.
No.
Obviously.
Come on, you
No.
guys.
No.
Then you can't sit there and tell me you'll watch anything Samuel L. Jackson does because he's done
I
Snakes on a
said
Plane.
basically anything.
He did say
And
that.
it's amazing. That is one of my top picks of 2018, Snakes on a Plane.
I watched Unthinkable. Did you watch Unthinkable?
I don't even know what that movie is.
Don't even know what that movie is.
No. I know of it. I hang on. I've seen so many Samuel L. Jackson movies. I couldn't even tell you if I saw it or not.
Yeah, well, what's in your wallet, huh? How into
I've
Sam
seen
Jackson are you?
I've seen all of the Capital One commercials. Unthinkable.
Even the ones with Jennifer
I actually
Gardner.
did not see Unthinkable. Was it good?
Not particularly, but I watched it start to finish.
Well,
All right, good.
yeah, thank
Good
you
to
for
know.
it. All right. Well, now that we're done talking about Shaft, let's turn our attention. Now that we're done talking about
attention.
Okay, so let's now turn our attention to the world of comics. See how it's affecting TV, see how it's affecting movies, but most of all, how is it affecting Brian? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk.
So, Netflix released a teaser for season 2, probably the last season, of The Punisher, Netflix's hit TV Marvel show, where Frank Castle apparently is in a bar and burns a full presidential pardon right there. And we're all aware that burning a legal document doesn't make it disappear, right?
I think it's more he's saying he's not going to live by the terms laid out in the pardon. He doesn't agree. He's not going to live a peaceful life. He wants to be the Punisher, and burning the pardon is just step one in his brain of assuming that role.
Okay. I'm super excited to see this show and then watch it get canceled.
Oh,
That's the worst part. It's like
It is.
It's so hard to be excited for this because I really love The Punisher, and I loved what they did in season 1. But just like I know there's no season 3, so either
Well, we don't know that. We don't know what direction it's going to go. We don't know. We don't know if
We
it
do.
can go to.
We
don't
do.
know if it
I mean,
can
we
go
do,
to
but we don't.
movies.
You're right. We do, but we don't. If they
We
don't,
know it's not coming back to Netflix. We know, right? But that doesn't mean it can't be a movie.
They're never. I don't think they're going to do that.
They've attempted a Punisher movie 3 times. It has tanked all 3 times. This is the only medium that works for this character. They won't come. No.
You're saying this cast couldn't do a movie?
No, I'm absolutely saying that this cast can't do a movie. I'm saying this character does not work for a 2.5-hour film. You need 10 hours.
I agree with the needing 10 hours, but that's because I'm selfish and I like binge watching stuff. So, but I do think it could work for a movie, especially a long one.
No, I think
agree,
even
sorry.
if you got a 2.5-hour movie out of this, it still wouldn't have the same magic as a series. And that's the thing. It's really hard to get excited for this. It's going to be really hard to get excited for Jessica Jones, just knowing that it's already canceled. It's already gone.
Yeah, well, I'm already not excited for Jessica Jones,
Yeah.
but Punisher.
So now that we've talked about the disappointment of the Marvel series just kind of disappearing on Netflix, let's at least talk with all 3 of us about 2 movies that have come out in 2018 that we really haven't discussed in full, and that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Aquaman. As a heads up, I have not seen Aquaman yet. It will probably be this weekend. So
I haven't seen Spider-Man yet.
and so all right. So
Cool, I'm going to spoil it
It's
for
great.
both of you.
No, I don't want any spoilers.
I don't want spoilers.
actually, so-
No, obviously no spoilers for any of this. But I will say this: I thoroughly enjoyed Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I thought it was just visually stunning. I thought the story was fantastic, and Jenny did not like it at all. So it's not for everybody, but the people
because
that's
it's
for
animated, and for the most
I don't know,
part,
it was really funny. I liked
it was
a lot.
so good. I mean,
that's what everybody says. It's so good. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it because it's animated.
the animation is top notch, dude. It's
It
really
could be the best animation ever. I don't want to see it because it's animated.
Why you can do so many things in animation that you can't do in
Because
live
I
action.
don't-
There's no winning
because
this
I don't-
fight. There's no winning this
I
fight.
don't because I
No,
don't
no, no,
care.
I want to hear this shit.
No, because I don't care. Like, I mean, I will watch animated series, animated stuff. Like, if it's really amazing, a lot of the Batman stuff. But like, I didn't like. It took me years to watch all that stuff.
It's fine. It's not for you.
I don't-
That's fine. I get that.
Great.
That's all.
And
I'm
that's
saying.
okay.
Anyway, movie was fantastic. Animation was like right down to like the little like there are certain scenes in the movie that like kind of they look a little blurred,
Yeah.
like around the edges, because it's like an old comic book when the printers were just rolling too fast.
Yeah.
You get that little blur in between like the foreground and the background. It was just like it was just so. There were so many neat little things from
no one but you would notice.
No, I noticed it
Everybody
too. I loved
notices it.
It was very noticeable.
No, I mean like the moviegoer. I don't mean you guys.
no,
the
people would
moviegoer notices
no,
it.
people would notice that it was different. It didn't feel like a normal animation. It made it stand out. It made you pay attention when those moments were happening. It made you really go, "Oh, right, we're definitely in a comic." And I thought it was interesting too, Brian. At the start of the movie, after they do all the logos, what was it? The Comic Authority,
The Comics
approved?
the Comics Code Authority seal shows up, which that's just for me.
I mean,
that's for people like me.
But I mean, I've never seen that
What?
on a
Explain.
movie ever. So
Yeah,
can you explain what that is?
In the 70s, the Comics Code Authority got introduced pretty much to police what kind of content was going on into comic books, very much like rating a movie, rated R, PG-13 or anything. The difference is there was no scale. You had to fit these parameters. You couldn't have drugs in your books. You couldn't have sex in your books. There was a lot of stuff that these people had to abide by for years, all the way up until the 80s when stuff like The Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns came out, and they all had that seal on the front of the book, the Comics Code Authority seal. So seeing that was pretty funny. That was a reference just for me.
Right. I do like the movie avoided a couple of cliches. It didn't try to force any unnecessary like romances in there.
The story was very, very. The story was very good.
Yeah.
It was unpredictable to the point where like I was like 15, 20 minutes into the movie, and I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely.
Watching the trailer, and I'm okay with it, but the trailer completely throws you off of what this movie is going to be.
It's a misdirection in the best way.
In the best way.
Way.
It was really good. And oh shit, that Stan Lee cameo. I cried. I legit cried.
It was good.
And I don't want to spoil it for Josh, so I won't talk more about it.
This will be an iTunes purchase. Obviously, the kids want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it. I just wasn't. I've slept through every movie I've gone to in the last month. So I didn't want to go and then have them on my ass about sleeping through it because I just don't care.
It was really good. I also like the fact that they left it open for a sequel, and there's discussions going on about probably.
There's multiple things they can do.
Oh yeah,
they left it open for a sequel for that one character, those two characters, but like. There's 6 different Spider-Man in this movie that they could branch out into their own series.
Listen, stay for after the credits if you've ever gotten Spider-Man memes in your life. A meme comes to life and doesn't disappoint. I was very happy with the stinger at the end of that movie.
It's a fantastic film.
All right, let's talk about a movie I hadn't seen, so I think this is the two of you.
Talk about Aquaman, Josh.
Talk about Aquaman.
I listened to the podcast last week. I heard Josh's thoughts on Aquaman. I have some thoughts of my own, but Josh, is there anything you would like to add from your thoughts from last week?
That I slept through it?
Besides the fact that you slept through it?
Nah, man, I slept through it. I don't think I'm qualified to really talk about a dog shit movie that I slept through.
I wouldn't classify it as dog shit.
It's dog shit.
It was not dog shit. It was okay. It wasn't great. Wasn't even good. I mean, it was a movie. I enjoyed it to the degree that I feel like I planned on enjoying it.
I prefer watching Justice League.
No, it was definitely better than Justice League.
No,
I have three questions that are non-spoiler.
I'm listening as the person who was awake through it.
That are not spoiler related. 3 questions that are not spoiler related. Number 1, is there color? Is there light? Can I see?
Not really.
Okay.
That's part of the problem with the movies, that a lot of the ocean scenes are very dark.
Okay. Number 2.
I found it very bright.
Josh said that last week.
No. You gotta. There's very there, and it's dark on purpose because I feel like they're hiding some
But there's
faulty
a lot of
CGI.
contrast.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of the movie spent in a desert, which is incredibly bright and was fucking with my sleep.
Right. A lot of the point is most of the underwater scenes, which 60% of the movie takes place underwater, is very dark.
Does it feel Snyder-esque, or
I
is
need
it?
you to check your figures.
Okay, fine.
And that's 60%. I'm suspect about that.
It's truly is that you're talking about in Sicily, which was the middle half hour of the movie of a 2.5 hour movie. Most of it Most of it was underwater.
Second question, did the comedy land, or was it as bad as I groaned in the trailers? Okay.
It was bad.
Yep, all right.
It was bad, but to be honest, all the comedy that was in it was in the trailer.
And Amber Heard was terrible, and Nicole Kidman was terrible.
Nicole Kidman was not terrible. That's the thing
Terrible.
I disagree with
Terrible.
you on. Nicole Kidman was
Terrible.
fine.
God, she was awful.
It was a hokey script.
Hokey as fuck.
It was CJ. It was very hokey to the point where like there was a part where even I rolled my eyes and I was like,
And
okay.
the guy from the guy from the A Team, the CIA guy from the A Team,
Right.
Patrick
terrible. God, was he awful?
Patrick Wilson. He was not horrible. Patrick
was
Wilson
horrible.
was actually good.
Really
in it.
bad.
I'm not going to sit here
Really
and argue
super
with that. I'm just trying to say.
And then anytime you have Willem Dafoe in a movie, you should just throw it out the fucking window.
Third question. I heard way too many action set pieces. Way too much. Just cram it with way too much. Overwhelming to the point that when you finally get to like a big action piece, you're like, I've seen half of this. Like it's not as exciting. I just need to know if that's a fair assessment.
There were a lot of loud things that kept waking me up.
There was a lot of action, but I wouldn't say it was like
Too much.
it's not even that I would say it was too much. I wouldn't say that like by the time you get to the big climax that you were like, oh, I've already seen half of this stuff. Like I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
It's too much to get a decent nappy in.
Well, that's good.
Right.
You shouldn't be napping during
as the
movies.
person who was awake through the entire film. It was okay. It was listen, if you like this stuff, it's worth your time. If you like superhero movies, you definitely should see it. And you should see it on the big screen. There is some pretty impressive stuff special effects wise. The entire ending battle is pretty epic. And I'll tell you right now, the story is kind of National Treasure underwater. So,
well, all right.
so
I saw it
it's
because I'm contractually obligated to see all things comic book movie, right? So I'm gonna see them all. And the big ones, the DC and the Marvel feature films, obviously I'm going to see in IMAX. So I saw it. Kind of.
All right. Okay. Anything anyone has to add before we go to our year in review?
Yeah, Vice was probably better than both of those movies put together.
Oh, all right. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, now that we're done talking about what's going on in this week in the nerdy world, I want to shift our focus to just talking about 2018. Talking about the year that we had. There's a couple stories in there, but I want to start off with the one, and it ties into our question of the week, which was to name the top movies that you had for 2018, movies and TV shows. We asked you, the listeners, for 3. I think, are we sending it to 5 for us?
I'd say no more
11.
than 5.
No more than 5. I have a list of 10 and I'm being yelled at, so no more than 5. All right, so Laura Burns chimed in and she said, I didn't see enough movies to accurately answer that question, so she focused on TV shows. She gave us 3. Number 1 was Letterkenny. Number 2, Jack Ryan. And number 3, The Crown. I haven't seen Letterkenny yet. Josh has already given us some flack about not seeing it, but I loved Jack Ryan. I thought it was fantastic, and I was a big fan of this season of The Crown. So I'm with you, Laura. I'm with you right there. So let's turn it to us. Let's see where we're going. You want to do TVs or movies first?
Let's do movies first, and then we'll go to streaming.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with my top 5 because this is very hard, and this is in no particular order. I have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I have Black Klansman. A Quiet Place, Avengers Infinity War, and then my number 5, and this was really tough because it was so neck and neck with my 6th pick, Tag. I really liked the movie Tag. I had a problem with the ending, but I liked the movie Tag.
I hate you.
5, what's your list?
Because it's literally the fucking same except for one movie.
Go ahead, what do you have?
I have Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse, A Quiet Place, Avengers Infinity War, Tag, and A Simple Favor.
Ah, all right.
That's okay.
I have 6 honorable mentions, so I have a whole other list on top of that
Sure,
list.
So
right,
Tag didn't make the cut of the top 5. Was edged out by another movie, and I eliminated the sort of contractually obligated Avengers, Black Panther, Mission Impossible, Fallout, Incredibles 2. Obviously, they're amazing movies. I can't put them in my top 5 because I was going to see them either way.
Sure.
The movies that I was most surprised and pleased by in no particular order, A Star Is Born, Instant Family is definitely top 5 for me. A Simple Favor, the movie Upgrade, which was actually a Netflix original, so maybe not. Was it big screen?
It was big screen.
It was not.
Okay,
Netflix.
fine, fair enough. I thought it was a Netflix film. Then my bad. The film Upgrade is what Venom should have been.
That's what I've heard. Yes.
And it was really amazing. And then the last one, which was another big screen movie, but was an Amazon original, is Life Itself.
Mm-hmm.
Was so good, and heartbreakingly so, that everyone should watch that movie. So those are my 5.
I initially was on your page structure, so just maybe I'll remove the contractually obligated ones, but Infinity War was a big one this year, and I felt that it deserved its place. And now
I didn't like Upgrade more than I liked
Infinity War. I agree. Yes, now,
right. But the other,
but isn't that the point? Is you're making a top 5 list? It's not just
because I was gonna see it either way, Brian. Like
it's not the top 5 movies you were going to see. It's the top 5 of the year.
I was so surprised by Upgrade that I was willing to put it above because I expected Infinity War to be amazing, and it was.
Right.
I expected Upgrade to be a sort of B horror thriller, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a really good fucking movie. It was infinitely better than Venom, and it should have been the Venom movie.
Plus, that guy even looks like Tom Hardy. So
he does.
Yeah,
he does.
So, Brian, out of curiosity then, since we both had Tag on our list, and it was kind of...
We both have 4 of the 5 of my freaking movies on my list.
It was very close to, another movie.
Oh, are you guys angling to be able to name all the rest of your movies?
I just want, what is the one that's under Tag? What is number 6 for you?
A Star Is Born.
You son of a bitch.
Because it was amazing.
You son of a bitch. That is exactly my number 6, too. It's also my number 6. I would like the record to reflect also that Brian and I haven't really talked to each other like 3 weeks. Like this is.
I know that honestly that might be my number 1. It might.
I know for you, I think it may be. I think it may actually be your number 1.
Oh my god, it was so good.
You had such
really I cannot wait till it's available on iTunes. I already pre-ordered it. Can't wait.
So let's turn our attention to TV and see
streaming.
To streaming. Sorry, let's turn our attention to streaming and kind of mention there. So if you don't mind, I have 4. I couldn't muster them all out, so I have Bodyguard, Jack Ryan, Maniac, and because of you, Josh, Queer Eye.
Queer Eye, so good.
So damn good. So those are my top 4 when it comes to streaming.
I think I had 9, but I narrowed it down to 5. Daredevil season 3, Titans, Altered Carbon, which I forgot came out in February of this year.
It did, didn't it?
Big Mouth season 2, and Everything Sucks, which was unfortunately canceled. But those were my top 5 streamings.
Very good.
You know what's CJ? You have a 5th one because you recommended it to me.
What's that?
The Rain.
Oh yes,
because that was my number 6.
Oh, and that's coming back for season 2. I do forget about that show. I forgot that came out this year. That show was so good. Seriously, just like put the subtitles on and watch it. It's so good.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Glad I could fill out your list for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I felt incomplete.
Go ahead, Josh.
I'm not going with any of my staples. I'm not going with the every year the Silicon Valley Ballers, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So from 5 to 1, my favorite streaming shows of the year: Sneaky Pete, Big Mouth, Daredevil, Letterkenny, Jack Ryan.
You actually put an order to yours. Okay, yeah, I didn't put any order to mine.
So
can I hear your order again?
Yes, number 5, Sneaky Pete. Number 4, Big Mouth. Number 3, Daredevil. Number 2, Letterkenny, which is the funniest shit I've seen in a long, long time. Number 1, like with a million bullets, because I've watched Jack Ryan 5 times straight through.
Very good.
And it only came out this year.
Yeah.
I've already watched it in 2019, full, the whole way through. And what is today? The 5th? 4th. The 4th. I've already watched Jack Ryan in its entirety in 2019.
Oh, geez.
And it probably won't be the last time.
All right. So I'm curious to turn to you, listener, and I ask you, what are your top movies and your top streaming shows of 2018? And I'm also curious, how many of ours match yours? Are you very similar to Brian and I, where you pretty much share all but one? So please hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. find us at That Kind of Nerd, at That Kind of Nerd Podcast on Instagram, and tell us your tops. For those of you who are interested, if you're an Apple Music subscriber and kind of want to know where your listening patterns kind of landed for 2018, there is an app called Music Year in Review that will connect to your Apple Music and kind of give you a breakdown, just 3 scorecards as to what you ended up listening to in 2018. Should be no surprise that I listened to John Mayer for 32 hours this year, so that sounds about right. So it gives you some interesting statistics, and if you just want to know how much
what is it? I want to look at it right now. What is it?
It's called Music Year in Review. So so I'll just give you again quick 3 stats for my year in music. So 32 hours listened to John Mayer. My number 1 genre is soundtrack, which means I was listening to Hamilton. Top artist, John Mayer. Top song, actually, though, Boys of Summer, the cover by the Ataris.
Oh, the Ataris, that's a really good cover.
I like that cover. Top 5 songs, obviously Boys of Summer, Moving On and Getting Over. Oh, such a good song. In the Blood, Love on the Weekend, and I Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. Top 5 artists, John Mayer, Logic, Macklemore, Coldplay, and Mike Shinoda. So,
Logic.
Yeah, I became a big fan of Logic this year.
Clearly.
I really enjoyed listening to his album, so I listened to them pretty heavily on rotation.
All right, I spent 35 hours listening to Brand New.
That sounds about right for you.
My top genre is alternative. Top artist, Brand New. Top song is a Bishop Briggs song, Pray. Quote unquote, Empty Gun. Top 5 songs, Pray. Long Live the Chief, that's Jidenna. Helena by My Chemical Romance. Youth, I don't know who that's by. And Lit Me Up by Brand New. Top 5 artists, Brand New, 21 Pilots, Pink Floyd, Knuckle Puck, and Manchester Orchestra. That's solid.
Manchester Orchestra, all right.
Oh, dude, I listen to a lot of Manchester Orchestra.
I think you told us about them back in the...
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty interesting.
And Knuckle Puck also, their 2015 EP, Copacetic, is in constant rotation.
For your top 5 songs, how many of them were by your top artist?
1.
Oh, okay, I had 3.
Only 1. Yeah, Long Live the Chief by Jidenna. That's a get amped up song. And Helena by My Chemical. That's So Long and Good Night song. You've heard it a million times, right? It's just these are just amped up songs. These are songs I listen to when I need to get going.
I have spent 29 hours listening to The Offspring. That's how far back my music goes.
Okay.
Top genre is alternative. Top artist is The Offspring. Top song is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by the cover by Lorde.
Oh, okay, good.
Interesting.
Top 5 songs is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Lorde. Power by Kanye West. Reflections, I Ran, and Roads Untraveled by Linkin Park. Top 5 artists is The Offspring, Kirby Crackle, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boys, and The Killers.
Reflections was Mr. Wives, right?
It was. You sent that song to me,
I
sir.
did send that to you. That's such a great song.
Also, Brian, I'm very curious. Can you tell me what it's like being trapped in 2004? I'm just very...
It's actually quite wonderful.
The Offspring are a super underrated band who I believe should make the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at some point because they have shaped...
They have.
Offspring music really hasn't gone out of style.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
Which is crazy that thinking that they were that unique. They're like in my mind, they're like Weezer. Not as talented, obviously. But in a same, they carved out a niche for themselves and then changed the way music is made. Crazy. You wouldn't have Imagine Dragons without the Offspring.
Listen, I'm not knocking the Offspring. I'm just noticing the trend.
I love the Offspring.
On Brian's,
you probably wouldn't have bands like Fall Out Boy either without the Offspring.
And Brian, I honestly didn't know you were a fan of the Offspring. I just learned something about you.
I'm a huge fan of the Offspring. But there you go. You're welcome.
Super underrated, Brian, and that's what I appreciate about you.
Okay.
This was an interesting app. I thought it was pretty unique. I know Spotify listeners have something that does this for them, but hey, if you're an Apple Music listener, we recommend you check this one out. Just to let you know, this one doesn't have any weird unofficial backdoor that your photo is now shared by everybody. I'm just saying, I have.
You're safe, people.
It's fine. It's not a scam. You're good.
Super safe.
I'm super ethereal. Super safe. All right, now listen. It wouldn't be a look back on the year of 2018 if we didn't talk about Movie Pass. If we just didn't bring up the rise and fall of this somehow weird pyramid scheme that kind of worked and saved me a lot of money, and the rise of AMC A-List. I mean, just it wouldn't be there. So AMC A-List ends 2018 with more than 600,000 subscribers. They anticipated only getting 500,000, so they got an extra 100,000 subscribers in there for it. Movie Pass, though, whew, you guys had a year. I mean, seriously, it started from, hey, everyone should buy it, to, check the math, see if it works for you. And then it came to, why the fuck does anyone have this? Like, this is a scam, and you can only see a movie every third Tuesday if there's one dude working at the ticket booth. His name is Hank. He'll greet you in a yellow poncho, and he'll take you to your movie. Just, I can't believe this. You guys don't feel like doing
I don't understand what's not to believe. It was
I got nothing to say about it. Yeah, Brian and I both thought it was dog shit from the very start.
Yeah, I was on record saying this is a bad fucking idea.
And I was not only second, but very vocal about how not only bad this was, but how cheap you are, and how you were going to crash and burn with this whole.
To be fair, I got all.
To be fair,
I got all the money I put in out of Movie Pass. I got it. I got the value.
Yes, you've extracted every penny.
I took advantage of every penny, and I'm the people like me are the reason that it's under, right? It's just it's gone. But if it wasn't for Movie Pass, we wouldn't have A-List. We wouldn't have these other options.
No, I think they would have figured that out. I think they would have figured that out without a losing value proposition. Like that, they definitely at some point would have figured out a subscription for tickets because they need people to come in to buy concessions. So a ticket subscription makes sense without a losing value proposition. Fine. I don't think the recipe like Movie Pass did anything for A-List or any of these other movie ticket type things. They were going to get there, and they were going to do it without losing copious amounts of money.
I think Movie Pass accelerated their plans for it, like because these things have existed for a while.
Oh, I can't argue that. I can't argue that Movie Pass's losing value proposition accelerated these companies to want to make extra money.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not. I mean, it's not even close to the same formula.
And I agree. I'm not saying that anyone should ever copy Movie Pass's formula. I'm saying thank you, Movie Pass, for being such a piece of shit service, right? But proving that there's a market for it and giving us A-List. Thank you. Thank you for being so bad that everyone got so mad and really went to AMC going, please, I'll pay whatever you want. Just give us something kind of similar to this. And an actual accountant, person who maybe understands numbers goes, well, we could charge this much for it and it would actually work. Oh, okay, Jim, we'll do that. Thanks. Instead of Movie Pass, which is, I don't know, what do you want to pay this month? What movie you want to see? You want to see that one? I mean, I'll come to your house and reenact a movie. Will you pay for that? What will you do? What will you do? Just please? So I have to say, Movie Pass, I enjoyed you this year. It was a lot of fun.
Brian is thoroughly unimpressed with everything you've just said.
Thank you, Movie Pass, for proof of concept so that other people could do it better.
That's all I needed. I'm okay with that.
CJ got a year of movies for free. Thank you, Movie Pass.
I looked at the movies that I watched with Movie Pass and just went, wow, did I wow, really? Okay.
So I saw on Reddit, New Year, and a lot of people posting this Data is Beautiful subreddit is actually pretty cool, but posting sort of all these different factors of their year last year and how they charted everything they did. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do anything that creative, but I did start capturing everything that I've watched so far this year.
And there's a lot of services and apps that help you do that.
There might be, but I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it manually, like create a chart, do something. I'm not really sure what.
Everything you watch just in general or just in the movies?
Everything I watch. I'm going to capture,
including the repeats of The West Wing and Jack Ryan and all this other garbage.
Only if I watch the series. Okay, so like if I'm watching the West Wing,
not just an episode, the series.
If I'm if I turn on the TV and West Wing's on, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to count that. I'm going to say.
But if you watch Jack Ryan 5 times in 2019, you're going to.
I'm going to capture that each
log
time.
Of that.
That's right. And so far, what I've got on my belt is Vice, Jack Ryan, Rounders, The Dark Knight Trilogy, Life Itself, The Town, Haywire, Final Table Season 1, Burnt, the Matrix trilogy.
It has been 4 days, dude. What the hell do you do?
I don't really sleep ever. No, I've also been on PTO, right? And just I have like I took this time to shut her down. Like really, really turn my brain off to work. So that when I come back next week and I launch, the cross-country tour that is my life, I will be completely refreshed. So all I've been doing is vegging out and watching stuff.
So, listener, first off, from the three of us, thank you so much for making 2018 just a great year to do this show.
You don't speak for me.
and listen, I think we all had a blast.
But yes, thank you.
Thank you so much to our Patreon supporters, especially executive producer Brian Roman. Really appreciate all the support you guys have given us. Come be a member of Patreon. Come get some exclusive content. Get to know what's going on the show a little bit early. Thank you so much. Please do me a favor, though. I've got something
I'd like to thank somebody.
Oh, please, go ahead.
I'd like to thank you two.
You want to thank Bono, The Edge? And...
I'd like to thank the two of you for allowing me to elevate your discussion to the next level.
Oh my fucking God. Really?
Jesus, really? Seriously?
I'd seriously like to thank my now fiance for putting up with me recording this every week.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yes. So 2019, we might not record because you're going to a wedding. Who knows?
All right. Well, listen, listener, thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood, your drive to work, all through 2018, continuing that trend for 2019. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Well, welcome to the club because you are that kind of nerd.
All right, let's put the show on the road.
I refuse to put the show on the road.
Well. All right, then. Goodbye. Sounds good. Talk to you later.
You're funny. I elevate the show to a whole other level. Without me, you're nothing.
That is hubris.
Brian Thornton started a podcast in a cave with scraps.
Tony Stark built this in a cave.
Well, I'm not Tony Stark.
I love that line. That's such a
He
good
just
line.
delivers it with. He just goes from 1 to 10. He goes like Nick Cage on
He
it.
commits. He commits to it.
Oh my
which is
god!
what's so great.
And also, it's right after he is the only person in the world who rides a Segway like a badass. Like he makes an entrance with a Segway,
yeah, with his freaking giant
Smoking a
God, I
cigar.
want to be Obadiah Stane.
smoking a cigar, the big beard. He's got the lean back. He just walks right off of it. It should have burst into flames. He just should have kept walking. Ugh.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
He wouldn't have. He would never.
Whatever happened to? I can't remember the name. Of it.
Predictability.
Predictability.
God.
Yeah, you
I'm-
fucked that one up.
I did.
I'm revoking one 90s card from you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you fucked that one up.
You've
Good.
been revoked.
My
one-
kids know the. My
I was
kids
like,
know all the
I
words.
know it ends in
No.
addictability.
You gone.
It doesn't end in addictability.
Well,
Prestidigitolium. He doesn't. You just no. Stop making.
Well, this
stop
is-
making up words, Merlin.
this is the show we're on. All right, then. Yay, so hey, we're back. I don't know where to go. I had to pull up my show notes. I don't have anything. Oh, here we
Oh
go.
no! Where's the segue?
Oh, no. I don't have
The
the segue
segue's
like
missing.
Obadiah.
It
It's all
exploded
gone.
behind Obadiah Stane.
Obadiah Stane took your
I
segue.
don't have the Obadiah Stane segue. What are the odds we talked about a segue? And then anyway.
Let's talk about how much we missed me.
All right, so
I missed you guys.
Well, Brian, I mean, from all accounts, it was a great episode last week without you.
I don't know what accounts you're talking about.
I've
Was
had
it?
no complaints.
Oh, yeah, I've had
I've
no
had zero
complaints. Zero complaints.
I mean, you're never. Yeah,
no
I mean,
one
you're
telling
not
me
gonna-
they liked it. Just zero
so
complaints.
Here's what happens. Usually when Brian's not on the show, I get at least 2 or 3
Yeah,
texts
that's
going,
true.
"Hey man, really solid show. Kind of miss Brian."
Kind of miss Brian. Yeah, it's very true.
And I'm
Oh
like-
wow!
And then if I'm not on the show, I get the same text. "Where the fuck were you?"
right.
And I'm like,
Right.
"Guy, I was off."
And I should just never show up. And you guys would
Well,
probably.
the
I mean,
problem is we don't
think of
have
the
a show,
powerhouse.
CJ. We don't have
you
a show
guys could
without
be
you.
without me.
So no, the problem is we'd sit here, record ourselves, and then it would just go to shit in post. So it wouldn't matter much.
It would never reach the masses.
That's right. That's right.
There was that one episode without me. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah, the only way I can edit the show is because you taught me.
That's true.